Hello and welcome everybody, I'm TheJWittz, and this is another episode of TCG Tuesday, where I play a popular deck on the Pokemon trading card game online, sort of explain its strategy, and try and help you guys out for those of you who are interested in the card game. Today I am playing a Darkrai Garbodor deck. I guess that's how you pronounce it, the end like odor. I've been calling him Garbodor forever, but it's all good. And my opponent is playing a straight Darkrai Sableye deck. So this dynamic is definitely a stranger one. The idea behind Darkrai is use Sableye to rehash your item cards over and over again, which makes him an excellent starter and really just a great all-around card. Use him to help power up your Darkrai's and attack. The difference between my opponent's deck and mine is he has more consistency cards in his deck, while I am playing 4 Float Stones, a 2/2 Garbodor line to shut off Pokemon abilities, and some cards to discard special energies, Enhanced Hammer. So a lot of these cards you'd think would not help you in the mirror matchup, but I'm going to show you how sometimes they actually can. Now it's not perfect, it's not going to score you wins. In fact, I would still say this isn't a favorable matchup, but there are some creative things that you can do in this. So normally, when I play this deck, you play the Garbodor, and it really helps you shut down decks like Virizion. You shut off its ability entirely, and you can re-afflict special conditions. You shut down Blastoise, and your opponent pretty much just rolls over and dies. And so I have some games like that. They're just not very exciting. They last about 5-6 minutes. So I decided to show something that might be a little bit more drawn out. So my opponent, fairly good start. Has Juniper, has multiple Darkrai in play, a Dark Claw, starting with Sableye, and it's looking pretty good for them. And so they use Junk Hunt to get back Dark Patch and Ultra Ball. So I can imagine he probably has a Dark Energy in his hand. He can discard it with the Ultra Ball, Dark Patch from the discard pile to his Darkrai, and starts to get things going. I've got my own Dark Claw, and I did top deck an energy, which was nice. I didn't have one. And so now it's just trying to figure out my best plan of attack. Getting on the Garbodor is not... See, I still can't say the name correctly all the time. Oh well, not going to lose sleep over it. Speaking of losing sleep though, I'm going to try and play Hypnotoxic Laser, put my opponent to sleep. I get Tails. So I play N. He just got a bunch of tools and stuff, so why not drop his hand down while raising mine? And this is pretty interesting. I've got the Float Stone, which is the tool you want to attach to Garbodor in order to activate his Garbotoxin ability. I play another Hypnotoxic Laser, and I do hit it this time, leaving his Darkrai asleep, or his Sableye asleep, but he flips heads in between turns. So with the Burbank City Gym in play, it deals 3 damage. Really for me, that was more of a desperation play. I didn't get the Sableye like I really wanted. I was hoping I could find some way to get a Dark Patch or Sableye or something. Either way, I feel like I'm already a couple turns behind. My opponent's got the multiple Sableyes, he's got the poison. I'm looking at my hand, I don't have another energy ready to go. The Dark Patch isn't really going to get me anywhere. I can set up a Garbodor, which is really the only thing I've got going for me, but I'm just trying to leave my opponent asleep, maybe get the 1/4 chance of him also flipping Tails, and just giving me a turn to survive or plan things without him being able to set things up. That being said, no, it's not that great. It gets 3 damage on Sableye, which would be a whole lot better if Sableye had 60 HP. He doesn't, he has 70, so he can still absorb a Night Spear, 30 damage to the bench without being knocked out. So really my lasers were just moot. Just trying to do something to give me a little bit of an edge. So he Skylers for Computer Search, which is interesting to me. I'm trying to think to myself what in his deck he would need with Computer Search. Skyla itself can get you any item card, or supporter, or trainer in general. So if he's Computer Searching, that means he's either going to need to get a Pokemon or just a straight energy card. Either way, neither seems super great for Computer Search. Get anything out of your deck. But he does get 2 energy on Darkrai. He discards a bunch of cards from his deck to Bicycle for 3. It's another card I just can't fit in my deck. Bicycle's great, gets you up and running, gets you drawing cards really quickly. I can't fit it. I run the Garbodors. So it's just trying to fit as many consistency cards as I can in my deck while also running this secondary strategy to help you beat some other cards. Speaking of cards, a lot of people in my videos, they ask me about my deck lists. Often I'm using deck lists of friends or people who I feel I should not share unless I have their permission. This one, however, is a public deck list. I took it straight from the Top Cuts video. I'll put that in the description, since a lot of you guys want to know card for card lists. This is the exact list that Michael Pramawat put up on his video. He talks about the deck, how to use it, the card counts, and things like that. So head over there. Tell Michael I said hi. I think that their videos are great. The Top Cuts doing some deck list stuff. They really are doing a lot of really fun stuff. So for me, I guess I'm just going to load on the tools and hope I can get something good this end. If I get a catcher, which I don't, you can do this nice thing where you can pull up a Darkrai and sort of bide your time for a little bit. Because Darkrai normally has free retreat with his ability, when you take that away by activating Garbodor's Garbotoxin, having a Pokemon tool attached, Darkrai all of a sudden has 2 retreat. So if I can pull up, that bench Darkrai, he's just stuck there. He's got 2 retreat, he can't attach and retreat in 1 turn, he can't have any chance of attacking, so I was really hoping to get that. Did not, and in fact, because I ended up setting up this ability, I have 2 retreats, so I can't even easily retreat to Sableye. So it's really a really cruddy situation, but I gotta do what I gotta do. So at least at this point, I've got a Dark Patch that I activate. I'm just banking on my own Darkrai dying to a Night Spear plus damage from poison. Thankfully, my opponent did not play a supporter, do anything like that. Didn't attach an energy, it was really just a start and attack. So, now I can go with Sableye and try and go for that catcher. Now, one thing I did mess up on here, I just realized that Garbodor has the free retreat cost, and so if I wanted to get an energy on Sableye, I should have started with him. He can just retreat with the Float Stone, and so now I need to get an energy on Sableye. That said, I do have the catcher, so I do have this guy up, unless my opponent has a way to remove the tool off Garbodor with the Tool Scrapper, which ironically I just played. He's stuck for a turn, which at least gives me a chance. Now I'm in a bad spot. He's got 3 energy, he's taking the first prize, but I do have an N. I can set him down to 4 cards, draw 6 of my own. I do hit that energy, which realistically I should have just Dark Patched from the beginning, and here's my Junk Hunt. So I can keep getting those catchers to cycle them. I can get Hypnotoxic Laser to start adding some damage. The idea here is just to sort of sit and stall for as long as I can with Sableye so that I can set up some of my own attackers and deal damage while my opponent is stuck there trying to retreat. So I definitely want the catcher, and I think I'm going to go the laser too. And that's one of the reasons Sableye is such a great card, but especially in the Garbodor version, is you can sort of slow your opponent down, cutting off a lot of important abilities, a lot of them having to do with retreating. You get rid of Keldio's ability, Rush In, you get rid of Darkrai's Dark Cloak. Both abilities really help you switch out of these situations, but when you drop a Hypnotoxic Laser and your opponent can't retreat easily, that damage adds up extremely quickly. And so for me, that's really all I can rely on here. He has the 1 energy attached, which I was sort of hoping maybe I could stop him from him only drawing 4 cards. He draws 4 more off Colress, but either way, if he attaches 2 energy and has to retreat them both, I'm okay with that. I also have this catcher recycled, so if he eventually does have to retreat with his Darkrai, I can just catcher it back up again and start dealing more damage with Hypnotoxic Laser. Now, thankfully, I was able to survive an extra turn here. Normally, my opponent would be able to just attach, retreat for free with Dark Cloak, and hit me with a Night Spear. So, already the Garbodor has at least done its little trick in this matchup that can help you out. So, I drop the laser. I'm hoping, if my opponent misses the energy attachment, that's great. He's stuck another turn, taking more damage. I can finally attack here with Darkrai, trying to debate whether it's better for me to attack or just leave this Sableye up. I do have the Dark Claw, and unfortunately the math is not perfect here. I do Night Spear for 110, then I do 30 more from the Poison in between turns because Burbank City Gym's in play. That's 140. So like this Sableye in the bench that has 40 HP left, my opponent will have 40 HP left. Darkrai EX is a 180 HP Pokemon, and that leaves me once again 10 damage away from getting a Night Spear knockout on the bench. That being said, I'm going to take any damage I can get here. I'm okay with it. My opponent at 140, that's great. Maybe I'll be able to steal a prize here. It is 2 Night Spears away from a knockout on the bench, and it's not perfect, but I'll take what I can get. Either way, I'm at least attacking with a Darkrai while my opponent is going to have to decide whether or not they're going to retreat or leave this Darkrai active to be knocked out. I'm really hoping they whiff the energy, because then this Garbodor really stops him. Gets the energy, I'm okay with that. Attaches a Dark Claw on the bench. As you guys can see, the Dark Claw isn't perfect the way the math works out. It sort of helps, but it's not a clincher. If Darkrai EX had 170 HP, it would be a huge difference. Oh! That's not good. I forgot, some Darkrai variants have been able to fit Switch in, because the old classic staple card in the deck, Energy Switch, is no longer legal in the new modified format. Switch hurts a lot. Lets him instantly switch out and save those 2 energies. One of the huge reasons I wanted to even try this combo was to, leave him active, have him retreat, give up 2 energy. Then if I can knock out this other Darkrai, I can really start taking the lead. Either way, I'm happy to have the Garbodor. He did save me 1 attack. And for me, it looks like 1 turn is really all I need. And so right now, I'm trying to find 2 cards to discard here with my Ultra Ball. I need to start setting up another Darkrai. This Darkrai in the active spot, he's not going to last another turn. Thankfully, I do have the Dark Patch, so there's an energy there. If I can attach an energy from hand, he'll be ready to go next turn, and I can at least exchange prizes on the Darkrai and hope my opponent can't set up with his 2 cards. So here, I do have a catcher. If I was really desperate, I could catcher that bench Darkrai and knock it out this turn, but I'm okay waiting. The Hypnotoxic Laser is great. It means if my opponent stays active, he will be knocked out, coming back into my turn from the poison. So I drop the 30 from poison, and I can attack. And once again, you can see how this math is just short. He's going to have 170 damage. And he wakes up on sleep. I didn't really expect that to leave him, but you never know. There's always a 1/4 chance, and that's why Hypnotoxic Laser is such a great card. But right now, I'm in a pretty good spot. My Darkrai on the bench could easily get his 3rd energy off of Dark Patch. I learned from my mistake earlier in this game, and I will promote the Garbodor if I have to, if this active one is knocked out. But my opponent's going to need another Darkrai, believe it or not. It seems like they're in a great position, but they do now have 2 Darkrai with 170 damage on them. So I am 1 attack away, or really just 1 turn away from taking 4 prizes in 1 turn. Or even better, now that I think about it, if my opponent can't get another basic Pokemon down in general, I can just steal this game. He can knock me out, and he'll have just 2 prizes left, but I could catcher the Sableye on the bench, and, whoop, my opponent attacked. And even though it looks like things are going pretty well for him, I've got 6 prizes left still. I'm going to take 5 prizes in 1 turn and win the game right here. So just like that, getting 1 extra turn from the Garbodor actually did save me in this matchup, where things normally weren't going that well for me. And so here, I take the 2 prizes, get the energy, which is fine. All I really needed was that Dark Patch. But just like that, the game is over. All I need to do is Skyla and get a Pokemon catcher. I did actually draw a catcher here, but either way I had an out to it. Catcher up Sableye, knock it out, and with Night Spear's 30 damage to the bench, I knock out the bench Darkrai EX with that whopping 170 damage on it. So just like that, out of nowhere, I take 5 prizes and win the game. Now, I'm not going to say that this matchup is always positive for you. The Garbodor is not always helpful. If your opponent's smart, they can do things like have 1 Darkrai, things like that. But it definitely isn't a bad matchup, which just goes to show just how strong Garbodor is in conjunction with Darkrai. You can get your tools back with Sableye, you shut down so many important abilities in this game, and I really do feel that Darkrai Garbodor is the best deck in the format right now. It won the Klasinski Open. I believe it also top 4'd the Klasinski Open and top 8'd it. It's a great deck, and it is going to be the one to beat this year. As always, thank you guys for watching my TCG Tuesday videos, and I'll see you again next Tuesday with another deck.